Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate the gesture and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. Today, on my wrist, 16 centimeters in circumference, we see the most opulent of Omega Speedmaster 57 coaxial chronographs. This is the Speedmaster 57 coaxial chronograph in yellow gold, 41.5 millimeters in diameter. The watch wears easily on a smaller wrist. Lug-to-lug, it's neither large nor small at 50. That's about par for the course for a full-sized modern men's watch, and I can recommend this watch for a wrist as small as 14.5 centimeters in circumference. The timepiece has a spacing between the lugs of 20 millimeters if you wish to accessorize, and it's not terribly thin, but it's nicely stepped on its case flank, so you would be able to slide it underneath a jacket cuff, just not a dress shirt sleeve. The timepiece features a richly appointed, thickly bolstered, large rectangular scale, dark brown alligator leather strap with a folded edge and a monotone stitch. You can see it's nicely bolstered as it abuts the lugs to match the swell of the case. And underneath, calfskin with a clasp to match. Yellow gold, like the case, double finished with both polish and satin. Twin triggers, so this one must have both triggers depressed before it can pop open. An extra measure of security on a high-value watch. Appreciate that there's double finish inside the clasp too, with a combination of satin finish and inside the chassis of the clasp, engine-turned perlage. Unexpected, but much appreciated. It also features a smart minderless system, so once you size it, there is no excess length flapping in the breeze, no minder loops, everything is tucked underneath the clasp to keep it tidy. The timepiece features a case that will be familiar for many of those who are connoisseurs of Omega's history past and present. You can see that it features the sheer sides and the transitional bevels of other Omega sports watches, but here they're a bit more discreet. They're dialed back. They're narrower across, and you can see that the ends are robustly squared off in homage to the very first Speedmaster models of 1957. This is not the richly fluted modern Seamaster and Speedmaster professional case. That looks like this. You can see just how much more vintage evocative and simplified this case is. That said, the bezel is thoroughly modern, polished on its underside, outward cantilevered, and satin finished on its top with a lacquer inlay for the calibrations. It is a solid gold tachymeter that you can use in conjunction with two known points, such as the start and finish of a standing mile or a standing kilometer, and you gauge the speed of something based on the calibration, something moving very quickly at automotive speeds, using the tachymeter and the chronograph seconds. The dial is a chalk white base with a matte finish. It has a very slight opaline or pebbly grain. The dial features all applique yellow gold indices, fully loomed. There will be a loom shot. Yellow gold hands. Appreciate the simplicity of the twin register dial. Even though it is a tri-register chronograph, you can see the overlap of the two hands on the mono counter at 3 o'clock. One is for the hours and one is for the minutes. There's a step to the aperture and the date at 6 o'clock that smooths the transition from the plane of the dial down to the plane of the disc, and you'll appreciate the fact that the registers are deeply countersunk to add a forceful symmetry to the dial. Applique yellow gold Omega marquee with a vintage logo at the top, and then the hands, although you can't see them quite as distinctly as I would like, are alpha style, so they are not the thicker, heavier Dauphine. They are pinched at the center in the alpha fashion with a lancet counterweighted seconds hand. A few things to shout out. First, the travel time function that allows you to jump the hour hand independently. You keep the chronograph running, you keep minding your hours and minutes, and you can actually change the time as you travel through time zones, even jumping the date forward or backward as you cross the international date line. Pull the crown all the way, now you hack the seconds, stop the balance, you can synchronize to a reference time right down to the second. Turn it all over, and you can see on this case back, the watch featuring a full 18-karat rose gold rotor, a full 18-karat rose gold balance bridge. This is not the 9300, this is the 9301, an upscale high-spec material version of the 9300. Now I should mention, the 9300 is your Omega coaxial chronograph based on the 8500 base. Now the mechanism you see here features a lot of toys. Twin mainspring barrels, 60-hour power reserve, very even torque release from max wind to minimum wind thanks to the twin barrels. You have a vertical clutch architecture with a column wheel function selector visible through the skeletonized bridge. The result of those two features is to make the actuation crisp. That's what the column wheel gives you, and to allow you to run the chronograph continuously. That's what the vertical clutch gives you. No additional wear and tear. If you like to run your chrono full-time, hours, minutes, and seconds at center on the dial, that's what the vertical clutch lets you do. It also allows you to engage the seconds hand with no jump or stagger. The refinements of a vertical clutch combined with the refinements of a free-sprung balance and a full balance bridge, very shock resistant. SI14 silicon hairspring, effectively amagnetic, COSC certified Swiss chronometer, and it uses the exotic tri-level George Daniels tangential contact co-axial escapement for minimal power loss at the transfer from the train to the balance. And what that does is it extends the power reserve and it improves the long-term timing precision of the watch. 54 joules adjusted in 5 positions. This watch, water resistant to 30 meters, is not an aquatic sports timepiece, but with respect to richness, opulence, and mechanical spec, it's got your bases covered. See it on the watch box. Omega Speedmaster 57. I correct myself, this watch is 100 meters. It has it all.